You ask and you shall receive. What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Dante here back in Digimon Laboratory with yet another deck profile. This time I'm going to go ahead and go over a deck that I am having a lot of fun with. And I think, with one or two tweaks, it can actually keep up with all the decks that are going on in the format right now. Just got to find out the exact ratio. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring you my Dexdorugoramon deck. This is not the purple black version that a lot of people are hype. There's some hype around it. People are all willing, ready, yada yada yada. It can keep up just like Alpha Mind has removed. Yeah, I want to make something that could possibly be safe when it comes to the other half of the ban list for the TCG. Just something that, if Alpha Mind does get hit, then a dual Goro line pretty much falter as well. So I wanted something a little bit more stable. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile, shall we? First things first, for Pseudomons, I do not play any 5th Digiegg. If you want to play a 5th Digiegg, you can play a Marimon, a Demi Marimon. You can play a Xiaomon. You can play any 5th Digiegg you want to. But I just felt like I want to turbo as hard as possible and control when I do so. So 4 Digieggs for me, you can add in a 5th one if you want to. It doesn't matter. And then we have an even split line of 3 Gazimon, 3 Psychmons, 3 Dracmons, and 3 Gabumons for the level 3s. Gabumons is the when attacking, draw 1, discard 1. It activates the Psychmon. Not Psychmon, but activates the Pseudomon. Psychmon just for those D Reaper matchups that you can really slow them really down by popping on 1 and 2 Psychmons easily. Gazimon for every other matchup that gains memory, whether it's the Alphamon matchup, whether it's the Metal Garurumon matchup, because you know how Blue likes to gain memory with generic cards. The just really any matchup period. The Dracmon is the exclusive really to this deck. So on play, you reveal the top 3 cards, and you get to trash 1 card with undead or animal and its traits among them. And add 1 undead or dark animal and its traits among them, and put the rest of the bottom of your deck. So if you reveal 3, and 2 are undead or dark animal, you can go ahead and trash 1, put the other one to your hand, bottom deck the 3rd one. So it really speeds up the consistency of this deck. It really goes in. I did have my first go around with this deck. I did have 4 Gabumons, 4 Dracmons, and 2 Gazimon Psychmons. After playing against D Reaper and after playing against Bonds, which I actually held my own against both. So it wasn't like a steamroll. No, I actually took both to game 3. Thing is, I could not find enough Gazimons to make stick during the Bond matchup, and I couldn't find enough Psychmons to make it really stick on the Mother D Reaper matchup. So I end up cutting down the Dracmons and Gabumons and bumping up the Psychmons and Gazimons, just for the control aspect of it. The deck does take about 2 to 3 turns to really set up, but it does heavily punish your opponent for making a board as well. The 4 Eismon scatter mode, the 1 Eismon, I originally had a 4-1 up in here. I cut it for another option card you will see later on. I think 3 is perfectly fine. 3 the Saint Lupmons, just because it has an inheritable just like Dracmon, to where when you attack, you can Digivolve out the trash. With a Digimon that's undead or dark animal by paying a Digivolution cost. So it really does activate all the Dex mons, because when you Digivolve off of trash or Digivolve into that counterpart, it activates their effects. So first one would be Dexdorugoramon. When you digivolve it, just however you do it, doesn't matter how digivolved. You can trash one card with Dexmon or DefXmon is name or X antibody to gain a memory. When digivolving, if it digivolves on top of Duogoromon or digivolves from trash, it gains blocker retaliation. So there's your built-in blocker right there, and it has retaliation as well, which actually helps in a lot of matchups. Play 4 of those. Obviously, we're gonna max out on the Dex cards. 2 Lady Devimons, just again for the raw draw consistency. You want to draw, discard, draw, just like how purple wants to do. That's how you're gonna do it. 4 Dexdorugoramon, this is spot removal as well. When it's Digivolve, pitch a card with Dexmon or Dex X or X antibody, pop a level 4 or lower. And then if it's Digivolve from trash, when you can pitch a card, gain a memory. If you Digivolve from trash, you pop a level 4 or lower. Nice spot removal. So for the level 6s, and yes, I do play only 6 level 5s, because really outside Lady Devimon, everything else just want to be in trash. That's really is. I'm just turning through my deck. For the level 6s, I play 2 Nidhoggmons, the purple ones, and 4 Dexdorugoramons. The Nidhoggmon is actually a lot better than people think. If you have to Digivolve on top of the Nidhoggmon just get rid of something, it's not bad because it's only for 3. So you Digivolve, trash a card from your hand, delete a level 4 or lower Digimon. Deletes these past script memory blockers, because if you haven't noticed already, this deck gains memory out of its neck. Now, I mean a lot of memory. Like, I can just gain memory just consistently and draw cards so consistently. It's insane. So things like Mecha Betamon and Gazimons and stuff like that, and Terriamons, they're gonna be the bane of your existence. They really are. I learned that really, really fast when who was I playing against? Prim. I was playing against Primitive, and he stuck 3 Mecha Beta. Oh my god, I'm spacing that name. I think it's Mocha Betamon or Mecha Beta, whichever one. I'm spacing it right now. But he stuck 3 of them on board. And this is my initial run, and I could not get past them to save the life of me. I had to hard delete 2 of them with option cards, and then Digivolve on top of the Nidhoggmon, Digivolve the Nidhoggmon to pop the other one. But even then, he was already set up to actually just go in and swing in for game. So yeah, it really is good spot removal. You gotta be cautious of that, because those Betamons, oh my god, they're everywhere. Especially because blue is such a good color right now. Dexdorugoramon, we already know how this bad boy works. If you don't, when you Digivolve from the trash on top of a Duogoromon, you delete all your opponent Digimon with the lowest play cost. With the lowest level. And then, with the lowest level. They all Digimon with the lowest level. Yep. So you can wipe pretty massive boards. Or even in an Armor Rush matchup, you can delete a lot of their rookies. Or even if they have a bunch of armors, you just get rid of all their armors, and now they de-digivolved. And then you have on deletion, play a level 3 purple from your trash. And if you have 5 or more Dex cards, not Dex, Digimon Dex cards, you can bring out DefXmon from the trash without paying its memory cost. So it is a very good card. Very, very good card. Very strong card. It just takes a lot. Once you Digivolve into a Dexdorugoramon, the stack is pretty obsolete unless you want to destroy yourself, unless it gets deleted and you're already set up in trash, that kind of thing. DefXmon, I play 2. I'm thinking three is too. Three is a little too cloggy because I draw so much, so I'm gonna find it. You can say, well, it might be in security. Well, if they hit out security, not only will Digimon most likely would die if it doesn't have jamming, but now it's in trash for me to go ahead and bring out with Dexdorugoramon. So there's no real downside to playing two of them versus three. That's from what I've been testing. One Calling from the Darkness. You only need one. If you have it, great. If you don't, oh well. It's not one of those cards that really is detrimental to the deck. Yes, you can delete your own Dexdorugoramon just to get the Dexdorugoramon out. That combo's pretty nutty, but it doesn't come up all too often. Just to help recover your resources. I do play one Def X Digivolution. For one, it is a Dex card, so it counts to the Dexdorugoramon count. And on top of that, if I have, let's say, a Dracmon just sitting there, and I don't have any Floodgate Digimons, I can activate this, Digivolve into a Dorugoramon from trash for 3, pitch a card, it'd be for 2, and now it has block and retaliation. So it actually helps me mitigate how much memory I give to my opponent as well. I thought about bumping up to 2, but this deck is very, very tight, and you'll see why in a second. I originally did play 2, but I thought cutting it to 1 isn't too bad. I like to play 2. I have to find room for it. 2 Death Slingers. Death Slinger is a late game out to Death Axmon. It is really is a great card to have in security, or a great card to have in your hand for spot removal. Off the bat, we can hit all those little floodgate type Digimon. But as the game progresses and you get more and more cards to your trash, I think like turn 4, I want to say like my turn 4, I had maybe 18, 20 cards in trash with this deck, just because you just draw through your deck so consistently and so fast that Death Stinger was able to delete level 6s easily. Like, the thing about it is with Bond, they don't really have too many outside of their 4s. They don't really have too many of any high end Digimon, and then they have a lot of little small Goblinmons or a lot of other hybrids. So it's one of them things where, yeah, certain matchups you really don't want to see too many Death Stingers. Like the Mother Diva matchup, it's pretty dead. But you're going to come across the Alphamon matchup. You're going to come across the Metagarurumon as Wargreymon as Grandis Kawagamon. You're going to come against, Dexdorugoramon Black. You're going to come across all these other decks that Death Slinger is so good in, or so good against, than the one, called Mother D Reaper. Even against Imperialmon, this card is good. Because if this card is hit in security off the Pyodramon and you're already 10 deep, it kills the Pyodramon and it ruins their entire stack. So that's also another thing that it can actually help you in the Imperialmon matchup. Because remember, they need the Pyodramon in hand, or they need multiple Pyodramons in hands to keep going and keep up the consistency, or they have to keep digging. So yeah. Is a very, very good card in my opinion. 2 memory boost. 2's fine. 2's fine. Generic draw power. Generic searchability. Memory. Hold tight 9. 2 is fine. Simple as that. I do play 2 Metal Impulse. And Metal Impulse is a lot better than people think. If, say, for example, Alphamon. Alphamon has +3 security. He swings. If this is the first, second, this could be any card. If this is the first card that they hit in security, you trash up to 3 cards from your hand, de-digivolve that Digimon by de-digivolve any Digimon by 1 for every card you trash in your hand. So you can either de-digivolve 3 Digimon once, 1 Digimon twice, 1 Digimon once, or 1 Digimon 3 times. So you can de-digivolve that Alphamon all the way down. So it eat through the 6, the both of the 5s, and down to the 4. And then it says delete your opponent, delete one of your opponent's level 4s. So this, in a nutshell, deletes that Alphamon stack all the way down. So for it to de-digivolve first and just get rid of everything and just get rid of 3, possibly, 3 Digivolutions straight down, and then being able to delete, you can theoretically delete level 7s with this card. This card is crazy good. Yes, it's the purple black, but I'm playing Dex. Like, this card is too good not to play. Simple. 2 is fine. With testing, I found that I needed a little more oomph, and there was some pretty nutty combos. So I threw in the offensive plugin A. I threw in 2 of them, and obviously you can see on the screen that I played 3 mats. Now I get to why the mat count should be this high in the first place. So to play the plugin, you can, even if you had 2 memory, and say you have one of these inheritables, like say you had Dexdorugoramon, which is not unfeasible, and you have either a Dracomon or a San Lupon underneath it. You can offensive plug in A, go to 0, swing in, digivolve into a Det for 5, draw a card, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, and then hit in for +1 security. So it's not that bad. Now, a lot of people say, well, 5 is a lot. I mean, yeah, I get it. 5 is a lot, but if this card was any lower, like a 3, this card would be crazy. Like, just having 3 on this card would be insane. Just imagine that. It would be totally insane. So I threw in a couple of plugins, and even the security effect of it is not bad. Being able to get you a tamer off the top 3, if possible, and then adding this card to your hand, so you can potentially set this play up. Not bad at all. Now, mats. This deck has a problem with high cost Digivolutions. No matter how you cut it, it's a high cost Digivolution type of deck. Dexdorugoramon for 3. Dexdorugoramon for 4. Dexdorugoramon for 5. And then if you really needed to, you could Digivolve Def Xmon for 6. This deck does not need to be choked in memory. If you allow this deck to be choked in memory, you would not play more than 1 card a turn. And playing, 3-4 purple boosts would not help you if you got memory blockers, but memory blockers on board. So you have to play the mat to make sure that you're able to at least Digivolve into a Dexdorugoramon after his ability. Just like guaranteed. Yes, you can. Yes, it doesn't. You can get. You can get around this by activating the Digivolution from trash, pop to level 4, and then since I Digivolve, pitch to gain the memory. You can flip those. You can choose what order because they're both in the same window. So having this card and having the Death Slinger and having even a Metal Impulse, like you have a lot of remove for all those floodgate type Digimon. Besides that, you pretty much run crazy fast through your deck. And the deck is balanced enough to where, you can turbo through your deck the first 3 turns of the game on your turn. And then from that point forward, you don't really have to draw too much more. Between the scatter mode, between the Lady Devilmon, getting all this memory between the Dexdorugoramon, the Nidhoggmon, the Dexdorugoramon, drawing this card in with Gabumon, drawing with Pseudomon. The deck goes in. The deck just needs to be tweaked. And the thing about it is, I love the deck a lot. It's just hard because Dexdorugoramon only does so much. But I enjoy it because it's a very, I wouldn't say skill intensive, But you gotta know when to play the Dexdorugoramon, when to drop the Dexdorugoramon. You can't just go willy-nilly. So you gotta know when to do it, how to do it. And that's what I like about the deck. Even though it's turbo fast, it still have really complicated lines that it can go down. And it still have removal that is not that bad of a cost if you think about it. 4 costs to remove pretty much a mega. 6 costs to really get rid of big giant stats. It has everything. It just needs a little bit more oomph. I tried the Grand Dracmon build and I don't like it because it's too slow. It's just way too slow. Like Grand Dracmon at the end of it, he has to swing and he has to live. If he doesn't live, you don't get the ability to actually Digivolve one of your Digimon out the trash. So that's why I opted to play the Nidhoggmon instead. I need the extra removal and discarding for the memory. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, let me know what you think. I think it's a very solid deck. This is the deck that I'm running with right now for BT9. I might change it up a little bit, but I also have another deck in mind. I want to build this deck, but I want to see how the meta is going to shift here in the next few weeks. Or even the next month or two, come BT10. I might even think about throwing in some Dexmon stuff. I mean, not Dexmon. Yeah, Dark Nightmon X stuff. Because the Skull Nightmons are undead, so I can choose my lines of where I want to go down. So just something. This is something I'm thinking about. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. What would you play? What would you cut out? What would you put in? My first go around, I had Underworld's Calling. Just because if I pitch it, I draw a card. But it was more dead than not. Like, I just needed the memory and the removal. And that was the biggest part, is that it was lacking memory and lacking removal. Period. So, with that being said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I've been your boy Dante. This is yet just one of many deck profiles to come to the channel next couple of weeks. I'm going to have some co-hosts that's going to be on a couple of these deck profiles. Bring some other people to the channel. Bring some fresh blood. I got a couple of decks that I'm actually working on right now. And let me know if you want, my little spin on any decks that you may like. I want to play it, but it's not really my style. Let me know if there's any decks you want me to look into and kind of come up with a different flavor to it. Again, this has been your boy Dante. I'm in the Digimon laboratory, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!